Good everybody. Good day, everybody around the world. This is another episode of Digital Ag Global. I'm Clyde Graham, your co-host for the podcast today. I'm with a consulting company called Keystone Solutions, and we're here to explore what's happening in the digital agriculture space. Today, we're going to be focusing on success and how to avoid failure in the digital ag space, particularly for young or emerging entrepreneurs and startups in the field. We'll introduce our guests in a few minutes, but we're really trying to look at today at what are the hallmarks of success and some of the red flags of failure that people can try and avoid. We know our audience includes a lot of people that are either looking at starting up, funding startups, or engaged in a startup that's trying to move to that next stage in the business cycle. And so we're hoping that you will find some interesting information in the podcast today that you can use. We're also going to be interactive in that we have a chat. If you have questions, if you have comments, we'd really appreciate you sharing those in the chat, and we'll try and address all of them during the session today. So first of all, I'd like to turn it over to my co-host, Yuri Kovalchuk, the CEO at Cultivate, for a few opening comments.
Thank you, Clyde. Hi, guys. As usual, Yuri Kovalchuk with you, CEO and co-founder of Cultivate. At Cultivate, we are creating digital solutions for agri-food space. So if you're building your MVP or you're trying to digitize operations of your organization, feel free to drop us a line. And as Clyde mentioned today, we're going to talk about do's and don'ts for AgTech startups in 2025. During our previous episode with Jack Ellis from CleanTech Group, we discussed an overall situation with innovations for agri-food sector, and we discussed a lot of challenges the industry is facing. So today we're going to expand. In a sense, we're going to talk about what are the best practices to use, what to avoid for AgTech startups in 2025. Before we introduce our guest today, I just want to remind everyone that Digital Ag Global as a podcast have open partnership opportunities. So if you want to become a part of our network, have access to the insights, our audience, and speakers opportunities, feel free to drop us a line, and we will sort you out. With this said, let's start introducing our guest, Clyde.
Sure. So let's turn to Susanne Cork, Director of the Ottawa Innovation Farm at Area X.O in Ottawa, where I'm located as well. We're going to have a very Ottawa-centric program today, which is appropriate because even though Ottawa is the nation's capital, about 1 million people, a huge part of the city is actually either agricultural land or natural setting. So it is actually an appropriate place to have this. So Susanne, maybe you could talk a little bit about the role that Ottawa Innovation Farm has in fostering startups in the AgTech sector.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Clyde and Yuri, for the opportunity to be here today. So my name is Susanne Cork, as Clyde mentioned, and I'm responsible for the Innovation Farm program at Area X.O. So I'll just step back a little bit and tell you sort of what Area X.O is, and then I'll situate for you how the Smart Farm or the Innovation Farm fits into that program. So Area X.O is a test and demonstration facility, a fully private test and demonstration facility. We're behind a locked gate. We occupy about 190 acres on the former Greenbelt Research Farm, which was originally established by Agriculture Canada. We have the privilege of being situated right in the middle of the city, so easy access for both innovators and regulators and stakeholders and all of that sort of thing. Within the facility, we support a number of different industries with respect to technology development. And so we included the Innovation Farm program into an already flourishing autonomous vehicle program, a transportation program, one focused on robotics for defense and public safety and that sort of thing, simply because it was very obvious that we were sitting on a farm setting, and of course, AgTech and the digitization of technologies in the agricultural sector is such a growing space and so important, as Clyde said, to the economy within our region. So we are owned and operated by Invest Ottawa, which is the economic development agency for our region. So the role of the Innovation Farm is very much to support entrepreneurs that are developing new technologies, building businesses, and growing businesses in our region, giving them places where they can safely test and demonstrate their technologies and access the stakeholders and the audience that they're looking for in order to help them grow and flourish. So that's really the purpose of the program, is to provide whatever resources that we're able to make available, whether those are technology resources from a network perspective, fields, so on and so forth, and to give everybody a really good head start into their innovation and entrepreneurship journey.